Whoa, people of Earth. It is time for Who News. Let's get it in. Let's get it on. It is Halloween, Monday, October 31st, 2022. We're going to bring you some news that you will probably not remember next week, but we will also hit National Calendar Day on this day in history. But you always get what you come for. Something to deviate from the norm. Something to give you something to talk about on your way into the office or not. But you're not going to likely remember any of this stuff next week because it is Who News. News you won't remember next week. Let's go. What up, what up, what up, people of Earth? Doing the intro to the beat of the song. Because the month is gone. It's already November. What up, people? All right, let's be serious. Sorry, I'm not being very serious. And this is the serious podcast that I do. As you can see, no lighting today. This is the Where is the Lighting podcast today. I'm not in the studio. I'm doing it at a different time. Everything's just where it is. So today, Monday, the 31st of October, 2022. It is the 304th day of the year, the 44th week of the year. And the year is 83% in the rear view mirror. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining or listening wherever you are. You can catch this on YouTube. I'm going to bring the Twitter back up. Now that there's a possible no longer shadow ban for saying certain things. But yeah, search V3 TV Network podcast or something like that on YouTube, I think is where it is. We had to set up a new YouTube channel, so we don't have a vanity URL because I don't have 1,000 followers on the new account because the old one was shadow banned. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, so that's what I do. I read the news. I drink my coffee. I get you on with your day, hopefully in 30 minutes or less. So a lot of days, National Calendar Days today. Girl Scout Founders Day, October 31st. Obviously, it is Halloween. And of course, what would Halloween be without doorbells? It'd be a lot of knocking. National Doorbell Day. National Doorbell Day. All right. National Knock Knock Joke Day. So without doorbells, it would be knock knock. So oh boy. Anyway, National Caramel or Caramel Apple Day, however you choose to say it. And rounding out the list, National Magic Day. All apropos for Halloween, wouldn't you say? I would say. On this day in history, we are on the Britannica website now as we have moved on from National Calendar Day. Birthdays. Oh, boy. Okay. 1961, New Zealand director Peter Jackson was born. 1936, American actor, director, and producer Michael Landon. Didn't Michael Landon, he was born on Halloween. Didn't he do American Werewolf in London, or was that John Landis? Yeah, he was born in 1936. That was John Landis, wasn't it? Michael Landon was Highway to Heaven. He was the angel, right? 1931, Dan Rather, American newscaster. 1926, British entertainer Jimmy Savile. Lots of people that have been disgraced on this list today. And 1887, Chinese statesman Chiang Kai-shek was born on this day. More events on this day. In 2020, wow. Scottish-born actor Sean Connery, who was perhaps best known as James Bond. He died on this day at age 90. That was only 2 years ago. Seems like it was a while ago. 1968, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson ordered an end to American bombing in North Vietnam on this day. In case you didn't know. And in 1941, after nearly 15 years of work, the Mount Rushmore National Museum in the Black Hills of South Dakota was completed. The colossal sculpture features the heads of Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. 1926, Harry Houdini, the magician and escape artist, died of I love these early morning vocal exercise challenges I have to do. Peritonitis stemming from a stomach injury. I don't know. There was always like an urban legend, at least when I was a kid. And I think he died in Detroit too, which is maybe why it became more of an urban legend for me, because it was local news. But, and then I don't know if this is factual or not. I've done zero research on this. And as always, on any of the podcasts that I do, when you hear me say something and you're like, that sounds like some bull, I always say, do your own research. Never listen to anything I say as being factual. It's just a guide to send you on your journey to go and discover. Anyway, it was said, at least, that he was always like, I've got these abs. He was always challenging people to punch him in the stomach or something to that effect. And that's what happened when he died. I don't know if it'll show the story or not if you click on it, but that's what we were told. 1922, Benito Mussolini became Prime Minister of Italy. He was the first of Europe's fascist dictators, the 20th century. What else happened on this day? Let's move on. Let's move on to the Onion. Where's the Onion? It's up there. Kanye West. What a news story. News feed be without Kanye West stories. The first one. Kanye West bursts into Pepperidge Farm with a pitch or a shoe cookie. He's Al Bundy now. Norwalk, Connecticut. Arriving unannounced with a grand vision for a revolutionary collaboration, the magician and fashion designer Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, burst into Pepperidge Farm corporate offices with a pitch for a new shoe cookie. Sources confirmed Thursday. Quote, this next level combo of fashion and snacks combines two things everyone loves, shoes and cookies. End quote. That's biscuits to my UK listeners. Ye said as he pushed his way into a routine budget meeting, waving what appeared to be a hasty concept sketch of dough sprinkled with chocolate chips and molded into the shape of a high-top sneaker. That's trainers to you listeners over here in the UK. A product he told startled employees would come in numerous flavors and cost $900 per pair. Yeah, regain that paper from all those endorsement deals he's lost. Quote, we got shortbread shoes, oatmeal raisin shoes, peanut butter shoes, snickerdoodle. I'm about innovation, and I know Pepperidge Farm isn't scared to take a bold risk and launch Yeezy Munchers, a delicious footwear brand that people can both wear and eat, and they will make us billions of dollars. End quote. At press time, a call to building security had reportedly been canceled after Ye spotted a loaf of Pepperidge Farm Jewish rye bread and agreed to leave voluntarily. You gotta love the Onion website. On to some weird news from themirror.co.uk. So as you know, I will fly through some of these headlines, and if I see something of interest, I will stop. I will comment, and I will read you that story. Sorry, the coffee's kicking in. Split personality and action. Your car key can prove if your house is haunted, claims Ghost Hunter. They are going right in with the weirdness. Photographer astonished as bride cancels days before wedding and marries someone else. Man branded evil as he plans Halloween sweets prank, but some think he's a legend. Okay. Mom fumes. Oh, yeah. You know how I love a fuming mom on this podcast. And this website has plenty. Mom fumes as neighbor's son keeps kicking walls, stopping her kid from sleeping. That can be tough. That can be really difficult. In this country, America, where I live in the UK, at least in this part of the country, there are a lot of townhouses, I guess we would call. Well, we would just call them regular houses because they don't have basements. I don't think most don't. Anyway, they like townhouses, or in Germany, ein Rohhaus. They're a row of houses that are all connected. Terrace houses, as they call them here. Maybe that's what we call them in the States. Anyway, so they're generally 2 levels: ground floor, bedrooms are upstairs. The walls in some of these houses, because the houses are so old, generally, are super thin. And yeah, it can be problematic. So I can feel for this mom and her neighbor kicking walls, but that's not weird news. That's not what we're here for. Man outraged after friend lies about Halloween party so he wouldn't attend. That's not weird news. That's sad news. That's unfriendly news. That's not what we're about here at Who News with a K. I sneakily feed my daughter's pal meat. She's a strict vegan, but she wolfs it down. These aren't weird news stories. Pentagon solves mystery UFO sightings, but some remain unexplained. Okay. I'm not even clicking on that because they're backtracking now by the sounds of that. Rachel Dolezal. We started a podcast with Rachel Dolezal. I started a podcast with Rachel Dolezal, and I think we did 3 episodes. Now she's on OnlyFans, and now people are emailing me, when are you redoing the podcast? Man attacks Dover Border Force Center with petrol bombs before suicide. Come on. Shouldn't that be mainstream news? Charity shopper flummoxed after... I don't even care. Just because you made me say flummoxed. Morrison shoppers left flabbergasted by 900-pound cherry tomatoes at self-checkout. Yeah. You can put those back on the shelf, please. I'm not going to take those. Thanks. Our baby was named by the ghost in our house, and now he laughs with the spirit. Okay. Bait clicked. Lainey Clark and Ben Hubbard have gained a huge social media following, detailing their life with ghosts who live in their house. And now the teachers have revealed their baby son can also see the ghouls. Last year, YouTube and TikTok sensations Lainey Clark, 35, and Ben Hubbard, 23, opened up about the ghosts and ghouls in their house. The teachers from Buckinghamshire have lived with 2 spirits, Dave and Andy, since 2018, and creaking doors, footsteps, and flying objects are part of normal life. 1 year on now, with a baby, Apollo, in tow, chameleon, the couple shared shocking updates to their out-of-this-world story. I vividly remember the moment I died on the operating table when Apollo was born. My lungs stopped working. I couldn't use my voice or move my eyes. I had no way of telling the doctors that I was suffocating. The last thing I heard was them saying my heart had stopped. This is getting good. On the 28th of February this year, Lainey and Ben welcomed their son Apollo into the world. But during her difficult labor, Lainey died for 3 minutes before her cesarean section. Doctors injected a nerve block, a numbing agent, into her back. But the medicine traveled too high and shut down her organs. For those minutes, experts fought to bring the new mom back to life. Meanwhile, she was in a void. She's really pretty. Not that matters. I'm just seeing her picture. So don't start adding me about shallow comments. I was, quote, I was nowhere but somewhere, forever and for no time at all. It's hard to describe the overwhelming peace I felt. I didn't want to leave, she confesses. She was dead. She was transitioning. Quote, my 2 grandmothers and my mom, this is a long, can we get to the ghosts? Sorry, guys. My grandmother and mom who have passed away appeared, smiling at me. I couldn't reach them, but I felt their love, end quote. What happened next will stay with her forever. I spotted a young, fresh-faced man with 80s-style floppy hair standing behind him. He was tall and so handsome, around 20 years old. It was only when I spoke up that I realized who it was. Dave, the spirit who haunts our home. It clearly wasn't my time to die. After seeing Dave, I felt a falling sensation and awoke back in the hospital recovery room. That's when I was reunited with Ben and our newborn son. I wonder if that ever has anything to do. Is it DMT that opens up? I think it's DMT, not ayahuasca. It's DMT, and it opens up a portal in your brain like this, like right here, like the third eye. But they say we create this when we go to sleep. So it's kind of like, I wonder if it's similar to that, where she's not actually going anywhere, but her brain is releasing chemicals and making you think that something else is happening. And it's just taking you through the ending processes. I don't know. And the ghost, I don't know. I'm just speculating. On with the story. Quote, I knew it was Dave looking out for me, so I wasn't scared. She smiles. Okay. Dying was the most profound experience I've ever had. I always believed there was an afterlife, but now I'm certain. We go on, and it's beyond anything we can comprehend. I agree with that completely. I agree with that completely because I've always felt that way, that we were part of some sort of continuous stream of consciousness, even as a little kid. I don't know why I always thought that. I had no reason to think that. It's not like we had YouTube and I was watching videos and somebody put it in my head. I've always thought that once you die, you just are reborn somewhere else as something else, maybe like reincarnation, but we've got how many infinite number of galaxies around us? We just go somewhere else, I feel. You're born somewhere else. That's why some people are born here and they've got all these memories and they're smart and they know stuff from like back in the 1800s when they were this little boy. He was like a black woman in his previous life. Like, it was creepy. I'm going off topic because coffee's strong today. So I'm getting back to the ghost story. Dave died in a car crash and has a physical bond with Lainey, meaning he teaches her sometimes. Andy, who's less present in their home, is Sam's late brother. Sam returned before the birth to help set boundaries for keeping Apollo safe. Okay, they got a ghost in their house. That's cool. I have a friend, Corinne. She's got a ghost in her house. Swears by it. Even one of her daughter's boyfriends saw it and jumped out the window because he was so scared. He was trying to get away from it. That had me believing that stuff. Anyway, my in-laws changed our house while we were away, and we demand. And they're demanding they pay for it. Oh yeah, they're tripping. You're gonna come into my house, remodel my stuff, and then say come on. Our baby was okay. That was the ghost. That's what that story was. I never got to it. Our baby was named by the ghost in our house, so we didn't get to the naming bit. I just got bored with the story. Sorry. But as always, this is themirror.co.uk, America. You can go right over to that website, find that article yourself, and finish reading. Mom cried almost daily with regret over name she gave son, but loves it now. Change the name. Stop. I refuse to switch plane seats for a family. It's not my fault they didn't plan ahead. Okay. Woman says she was asked out on so many dates after discovering red nail theory. I'm a little congested. I don't know if this is a cold or what. Mom of quads. No, I don't care how many diapers you're using to lay it. Mom with 11 children. Where are all these women that are out here getting it in? Anyway, wrong podcast. Stay focused. Mom with 11 children to 8 dads says she has reasons as she hits back at haters. Deliveroo customer gobsmacked after rider eats food and texts that it was very tasty. What a great story that probably is. I quit my 9-to-5 job to start a business. Now I make $80,000 a year and I'm much happier. That is the weirdest story of the day. How weird that somebody would not want to work a crummy job and do better. My fiance is fuming. The news is trash today. My dad's neighbor parks their car in his driveway and won't move it. I had it towed. Good for you. Good for you. Years ago, I was dating this woman, lovely woman, until she broke my heart. She's very English. And we came home for dinner or whatever to her house, and her neighbor was blocking the driveway. They had their own driveway, but the neighbor was blocking the driveway, so she couldn't pull into her driveway. So she just parked on the street. So I was like, why don't you just go ask them just to pull their car up 2 feet so you can park in your driveway? She's like, oh, no. That's how people are over here. And I couldn't understand that because I'm American, and that's just not how we function culturally. I'm not saying that people wouldn't do that in the States, but as a whole, nah. You go and say, excuse me, I can't get in. Can you mind? Even ask politely. You don't have to go over there with an attitude. Oh, seems you parked in front of mine. Sorry. Anyway, she wouldn't do it. So having it towed, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I impulsively dyed my wedding dress black. People accuse me of losing my mind. Oh, boy. Giant rabbits that were bred for meat and weighed same as a dog, rescued by the RSPCA. Jesus. This is a tricky one right here. It's not weird news, though. I've stopped helping my elderly neighbor. I feel bad, but she's too demanding. I heard that before. I might even know this person. Hold on a second. Is that you, Rebecca? A woman has said she's fed up with her demanding elderly neighbor. It's always positive when you move into a new home and hit it off with your neighbors, as it's nice to avoid those common arguments between people living next door to one another. But one mom has now discovered that just because your neighbors start off friendly doesn't mean they'll stay that way. After the elderly woman who lives next door to her and her husband became too much to handle. That can happen. And that's not the person that I know. So obviously it can happen to many people. Cleaning guru shares a fan trick to get rid of damp smell from clothes when drying. Don't leave them in the washing machine. Put them right in the dryer. Okay, we need to wind this down. We probably have already lost 90% of them, all three of you that were listening. Stranger said my dog's name is inappropriate and told me to change it to Princess. Slap. Anyway, there's no time to be responding like Will Smith. Professional witch celebrates Halloween with spells and Feast of the Dead. Wow, that's weird news. That's weird news, and I've not even bothered to click on it. This is where we're ending our show, or at least these weird news stories. A self-proclaimed professional witch has shared how she celebrates the spookiest night of the year. Opening up about her Halloween rituals, Inbal Honigman, who also works as an astrologer, marks the day by sitting down to dine with loved ones who passed on and cast spells intended to last all year long. First things first, however, the mom of four makes sure to partake in Kitty Halloween, taking her children out trick-or-treating and making them dinners such as plant-based meatball spiders on a bed of gooey green spinach. So she's a caring, loving mother first. Then she's a witch. There's nothing wrong with that. The kids are going to come out fine. She's looking after the kids. She's making them plant-based meatball spiders on a bed of gooey green spinach. I didn't have such luxuries like that. Gooey green spinach, meatball spiders. I want to eat that. And my mom's a witch? That's way too cool. Anyway. However, once the kids have cleaned their face paint away, Inbal's witchy Halloween can begin, and she retires alone to partake in some ancient traditions. Inbal from Holmfirth, West Yorkshire, said Halloween is a wonderful time for divination. I'm the worst reader. I had such a public school education, and I went to one of the best schools and had my English credits before my senior year, so you would think that I should be able to read these words. I've never heard this word. Divination? Is that like divine nation? I'm congested. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Quote, Halloween is a wonderful time for divination. So I take my... sorry, I need to know this. I'm sorry that I'm stalling you guys out. Divination, the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means. Okay. Inbal from Holmfirth, West Yorkshire says, Halloween is a wonderful time for divination, so I take my tarot cards with me and ask for messages for the year ahead. Between now and next Halloween, I have 365 chances to make a change, and my tarot cards tell me where to best focus my energy. Again, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. If that's where she wants to get her guidance, go for it. The 47-year-old who believes Halloween to be the time of year when the veil between this world and the other world is the thinnest, then sets out a feast of the dead. According to Inbal, quote, the season of darkness is a time to remember those who have gone before us, grandparents, parents, animal friends, anyone we've lost in our lives. And I have lost many this year. Looking at photos of them, thinking of them, even talking to them, ring a little bell to help the souls of the departed to find you in the dark. Okay. She also believes autumn, which she refers to as the season of death, to be the ideal time for spells of banishing and getting rid of things that block our path. I need to get a hold of this woman. She's got answers for me. I can feel it. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Professional witch. This is a comment. Oh, for heaven's sake, stop deluding yourself and conning people. Shut up. Why do you care? Gotsy at Gotsy.com. Good for you. I'm not typing in your website. I shouldn't even have said it. Now I did. Let's get to MSN, get you on with a poll question or a trivia question, and get you on with your week because it's Halloween. Poll question. Oh, how convenient and ironic. Poll question 105 today. I don't know how many we'll get through. Do you believe in ghosts? Yes, no, I'm not sure. Believe. That's a tough one. I guess you believe if you don't know, right? So I'll say yeah. 38% of 27,077 people said yes. 42% said no, and 20% said I'm not sure. Understood. Have you ever lived in a house that you believe to be haunted? Yes. 18% said yes of 24,000. 76 said no, and 6 said yes. The only reason I said yes is because I had a very weird experience when I lived in Ascot before I moved to this house that I'm in now. I just moved into that house, and the house came with a table and chairs and the little it was a tiny little place, but it was perfect for the time. It was probably about the size of this living room, but it had a studio that was subterranean, which I loved, especially during lockdown. Anyway, I put a bottle of Cavassier on the table. I was just moved into it, maybe the second day. And it was in the middle of the table because I knew I didn't want it to, bump into anything. It was a brand new bottle. I hadn't even opened it yet. That bottle, about 10 minutes later, would hit the floor. Now, I understand sometimes things get condensation and it'll have air trapped and things will travel. If there was no air, no water, and no, that wasn't the case. That bottle moved from like damn near the middle of the table and its level to the floor. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Something else happened. Temperature gauges were at like 666. I was playing a John Madden football game and like my passer rating was 66.6%. So then I start freaking out. It was this friend of mine. She's like, yeah, you need to smudge. It's just a sign of you're going through a transition or a change. Anyway, Bing quiz and then on with your life. We dragged this show on way too long today. In what century did Halloween become popular in the United States? 17th, 19th, or the 20th century? I'm going to say 20th. Damn, I was going to say 19th. 17,175 people voted. 33% said 17. 48% of you said the 19th century, which is correct, and 19% of you are wrong, like me, and said the 20th. century. What was candy corn originally called? Candy Peaks, Colonel O Candy. It's like an Irish Halloween costume. Or chicken feed. Oh, wow. It looks like chicken feed. Candy Peaks I'm going with. Damn, it was chicken feed. Wow. 14,800 people. 39% of you got it right. It's chicken feed. 49% said Colonel O Candy. And 12% of you got absolutely wrong with Candy Peaks, myself included. Anyway, this is the last question. And I know because I already know the answer because of my punk rock background. And we're going to get you on with your Halloween. Halloween is thought to have originated from which Celtic harvest festival? Samhain, Beltane, or Hogmanay? I don't know that word. Hogmanay. Anyway, 13,821 people voted, and 33% of you said Hogmanay. 29% said Beltane, and 38% of you, including myself, said Samhain. And we got it right. Have a great Halloween. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on the YouTube. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, you guys. We got all new stuff, all new social medias. The v3tv.uk website will be up once I get back from Detroit in a couple weeks. I got somebody there that's helping me work on it, so I'm going there for that. But we need your help with the likes. And I'm going to double post all this stuff. But if you're listening on the old feeds, I need you to come to the new YouTube channel, the one that's V3TV podcast, I think. The one with no followers, not this one. So, and we can't change the names and all that until we get more people over there because we got new accounts, as I mentioned. So thanks for listening and have a great rest of your day. Wow, look how poor the lighting is. Never again, guys. I got you.